This timer is my entire trading day. 15 minutes, 1 or 2 trades, then the charts are closed. If you have a day job and you're sick of guessing every trade and every rule-based strategy that you have tried so far still turn it out to be staring at charts and second-guessing yourself, stay with me because this video was made for you. Everyone else, click away. I'm going to walk you through the exact system I've taught to over 300 students since 2022. 4 simple patterns built around one reference point that let you catch 1 to 2 high quality trades every single day in under 15 minutes a day without guessing a single decision and without giving up your day job. We don't read market structure. We don't stack indicators. We don't sit at the charts waiting for something to happen. We trade 4 patterns anchored to a fixed window of time because here's the thing, guys. Rules built on price can be read in 2 different ways by 2 different people. The rules built on time can't. This one sentence is the reason everything you're about to see works. And before I show you how it works, see what it's already done so far. For people who found me the same way as you found me right now, just as you did. This is Azur. Like most traders who come to me, he'd been through the cycles of strategies on the YouTube, accounts that didn't survive. He joined in November. That same month, he was trading a $50K funded account. He passed the 100K phase 2 as well. This is Alex, a freshman at the university, full course load, no time to sit at charts. He passed his Maven challenge trading the 4 patterns between his classes. His words, I can actually study and still trade. Gravius on his 200K funded account with his first payout on the way. Alan passed 15K funded next challenge and phase 1 at the second firm at the same time. Alexandra took the longer road, and in January, his Pfeiffer certificate landed. Real certificates from prop firms putting real capital behind these traders. I'm not promising you their results. Nobody honestly can. What I can show you is the system they followed and why it can be followed at all. So why aren't you profitable yet? I've surveyed hundreds of traders and they all tell me the same story in the different words. I know many strategies, but I don't know which one works. I plan my trades, but when I sit at the screen, I lose the control. And every time they blame the same person, themselves. It was never a discipline problem. It was a copying problem. Everything you've tried so far fails one test. Could 2 complete different strangers follow the same exact rules and take the same exact trades? They can't. Those strategies run on interpretation. One trader sees a valid order block, another sees nothing. And a strategy that leaves room for opinion cannot be copied, which means it cannot be taught. So, when it didn't work for you, that was never your fault. You can't train your gut feeling on your life savings. And you can test this yourself. Judge every trading style on 5 things. Rule clarity. Would 2 people take the same trade using the same strategy? Screen time. How much time it's going to require from you to spend to become a profitable trader? Emotional load. How many decisions under pressure you have to make? Because more decisions, more chances for you to make mistakes. And learnability, how much time it's going to take you, weeks, or it's going to take you years to train your gut feeling and your instincts. And defined risk, is your max loss set before you enter? Do you have a proper rules for where you're going to enter, exit, take your profits, or set up your losses? So, signal groups. Let's talk about the signal groups. They have 0 rule clarity. You copy a stranger with no idea why. And the day the signal stopped, you've learned nothing. Indicator stacking. 12 lines that disagree with each other. They're contradicting. So every trade is just a judgment call. Smart money concepts, ICT, Wyckoff, these work for the few who survived years of losses building the intuition. Again, like it's just gambling, guys. Do you have years of losses in your budget to become a profitable SMC trader? News trading, you're racing algorithms that read headlines in the milliseconds. And furthermore, like as a technical day traders, we don't believe in the news because we believe that the price already contains all of the information that you need to become a profitable trader, because all of the news, all of the like CPI, inflation, everything is already priced in to the price. Now, flip it. Rules so clear, two people take the same trade. Minutes of screen time a day, zero decisions under pressure, learnable in weeks, defined risk every time, exactly one style hits all five. A mechanical, rule-based system. That's what I built. Who's telling you this? Quick context, guys. 6 years ago, I was buried in the numbers at a big four audit firm, trading my time for a paycheck that never felt like enough. And I traded the way everyone taught me. I usually knew where the price would probably go, but I never knew when. So I'd be asleep or at my desk, or I might be eating, sleeping, whatever doing. And the trade I'd waited for days would happen without me. Can you imagine that? The trades that I did take, I lost because it rode on a gut feeling. Every time I asked my mentor why, I had the same answer. Train your gut feeling, like train your eyes. They love to say that. So I built my own system the way an auditor would. If a rule can't be verified, it's not a rule. And everything I showed you in a document, this is May 2024 backtest on Euro USD. Every trade linked to the chart on TradingView so you can open any of them and check me. Here's what I will teach you and how the market really behaves. The one reference point, 4 repeating patterns are built around it, and the test you can use to judge any strategy anyone sells you, including mine. So how do you make money in a market nobody can predict? Because price, trade by trade, cannot be predicted by anyone. Let me show you with a box of balls how it works. A box holds 100 balls. 50 of them are green and 50 of them are red. You pull one blind, completely random. But you pull 100 times and you know almost exactly what you will get. Say green pays you $300 and the red costs you $100. One pull is a coin flip. 100 pulls is just a business. That's the whole secret. You stop predicting the next ball. You build rules that pay more when you're right than they cost you. So when you're wrong, you pull the same way every time. That's called an edge over the market. And the moment your rules leaves you room for opinion, you're gambling with just extra steps. So here's what actually works. Everything starts with one reference point. We open any pair on the 15-minute chart and mark the first 4 hours of the Tokyo session. The range is the origin point. And why those hours? Almost everything in this world trades against the US dollars and euros as well. So the real volume arrives when the London and the New York sessions open. Tokyo moves quietly while the West sleeps and builds a range for us. The orders stack up and below that high and the low of that Asian range. By the time London wakes up the trade, that range is loaded like a spring. The quiet session builds the levels, the loud session reacts to them. We trade the reaction, not the build up. Now, the market does only 2 things. It trends and it ranges. That's the entire menu. And that's why one-size-fits-all strategies blow up. A trend strategy gets smashed in a range and vice versa. The range strategy will not survive during the trend. So we trade 4 patterns, 1 for each market condition. OP method number 1. Breakout and continuation. Price breaks out of our origin point, retests a level inside it, and we ride the continuation. Method number 2. Hidden key level reversal. Price trends one day, retraces into the previous day candle range the next day, and we catch the reversal. OP method number 3. origin point border reversal. Liquidity sits beyond the high and low of the origin point, and when the market is indecisive, price reverses right of those levels. OP method number 4, liquidity grabs. The previous day high and low are where the market grabs liquidity and reverses. We trade the trap instead of being the trap. 4 patterns, every condition covered. You're not learning 4 random strategies. You're learning one map with 4 roads on it. Now here's the part that matters more than the patterns. Run 2 strangers tested. The first 4 hours of the Tokyo session. Same for you, for me, same for anyone with a clock, right? The high and the low of that range. Same for you and me. The previous day highs and lows. Same for you and me. There's no step where 2 people see 2 different trades. That's what a mechanical actually means. Not has a rule, Every guru has a rule. Mechanical means the rules survive being copied. So here's what trading days looks like when the guessing is gone. Before London opens, you mark the Tokyo range, 2 lines, just gets 1 minute. London opens, there's a setup, entry, stop, and target defined. You place a pending order and close the charts. And then, nothing. That's the point. You go to work, you have a dinner with your family, nothing to watch because every decision was made before the session. You didn't stare at the charts for 6 hours. You didn't move your stop loss because it felt close. You didn't revenge trade because there was nothing to sit in front of. 15 minutes of work, the rest of the day is yours. Trading was never supposed to be your second job. And I got a lot of messages from the real traders. First, I've bought courses before. Every guru says his strategy is rule-based. Why is your strategy different? So you've been burned, so your guard is up. Good. I appreciate that. Just point it at the right test. Every strategy you bought before failed the 2 strangers test. What you bought was the guru's gut feeling with a workbook attached so you could never be taught. Don't take my word, run the test on me. There is nowhere in this system for my gut feeling to hide. And here's the honest conversation about the back test. In 2024, the 4 methods logged 118 trades on the Euro USD, about 74% win rate, 445 are net profit. But the backtest data, ideal conditions, 0 emotions, you're a human. That's why I would tell you to cut it in half. Half of that still beats almost anything you have traded. Last piece of evidence, how I get paid. My students only pay me in full once they are consistently profitable. If this doesn't work, I'd be working for free forever with hundreds of students. Second, this is the most honest message I get. The strategy is not my problem. I am. When I sit at the screen, I lose control. Somebody told me to fix your psychology first. Master your emotions, journal your feelings, and the profits come. Years of that advice. Has anyone, just ask yourself, just think about that. Has anyone's overtrading actually stopped? Does your overtrading actually stopped? Your discipline doesn't fail randomly. It fails in specific moments. Watching a chart move against you, sitting there after a loss, 6 idle hours with nothing to do but find a reason to click. Now, look at what this asks. You check once at the open, yes or no. If yes, the order goes in before your emotions wake up. Then the charts are closed. Revenge trading after a loss, the chart isn't open. Moving your stop loss, you're at the dinner. This system doesn't ask you for the more discipline. It deletes the moments where discipline was losing. Do you understand that? Third, it sounds great, but I work all day. You're not asking whether you can trade with a job. You're asking whether you can run that old lifestyle with a job. Nobody can. It barely works for people with no job at all. But this was built by a man with an odd job, guys. Because of the job, I was working late shifts. I was working as hell. You open the majors at the London and New York Open, whichever fits your schedule. Mark the range, check the rules, place the order, close the charts, set and forget, 10 to 15 minutes a day. If nothing forms in the first 2 hours, you're done. Like, you check the charts, if nothing is formed yet, you come back after 30 minutes and repeat that for 4 times. It just takes you a minute. Have a glance. If anything formed, yes. If nothing is formed, no. You close the charts and walk away. And after 2 hours, you stop checking the charts, because we know the most of the trades we take forms during the first 2 hours. And since the rules can't be read 2 ways, my chart and your chart show the same setup. Every day I publish my outlook on the major forex pairs, and that's how students learn. They check their read against mine until the rules live in their hands. You know, you can't do that with a gut feeling strategy. Nothing to check against. Alex trades between lectures. Alan passed 2 challenges around a full schedule, and Caballo is in the wrong time zone for London. So he sets an alarm, takes the trade if it triggers, and goes back to sleep. 20 minutes a day. And the last one is, and it's fair because I just handed you the whole framework. Why would I pay you? I could backtest this myself for free. You could, and some people will. And I have people who are profitable. Let me tell you what happens when they do. Without the exact rules, the bank of examples, and the daily setup, you will spend months rebuilding what already existed. And you will rebuild it slightly wrong, which is worse because you won't know which part is wrong actually, which part is holding you back. But here's a real killer. Your first losing week is coming. Not if, when. That's not a system breaking. That's a system working is designed. Remember the Red Bulls. They're budgeted. And alone at your desk, 3 losses deep, you will be convinced that the system is broken. Your hands will itch to widen the stop loss or take a setup that isn't really there. That moment is where every self-taught trader dies. Not because the system failed, but because nobody was there to say, hold your rules. Send me your trades. Let's check them together and see where you're making actual mistakes. That's the entire reason the mentorship exists, guys. Not to sell you information, to keep you mechanical in the week where being mechanical is the hardest. So these are the questions which leaves only one. What to do next. So here's what to do if you want